It is perhaps one of the most cherished and anticipated experiences for anyone who has had a dog. No matter how much time has passed, whether it's only been 10 minutes, a few hours, or even days, the dog will show the same joy. Some start spinning around, others will lift their paws to reach you. But this is also part of the great affection your dog feels for you. Today, we will be exploring the scientific studies that demonstrate all those things your dog feels for you. And if your dog does this often, you can share your opinion in the comments. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Dogs keep us in a special place in their brain. Neurologist Gregory Burns, a professor at Emory University School of Medicine in Atlanta, was the first scientist to get dogs to voluntarily undergo MRI scans. Scientists had previously conducted these tests with dogs, but they had to sedate them to prevent them from escaping the noisy machines they couldn't tolerate. Naturally, the tests that can be performed on awake dogs provide much more valuable information. One of his main conclusions is that dogs perceive humans as a separate group from them. However, their owners are considered part of their family, and they actually prefer to seek their help over that of other members of their species, which could indicate that dogs are aware that humans have resources that neither they nor their species possess. When dogs were placed in the scanner and given different fragrances to smell, it was found that they could perfectly distinguish between members of their species and humans, but also between familiar and unfamiliar scents. In particular, the scent of a familiar human triggers a reward in the brain unmatched by any other stimuli. The doctor was pleasantly surprised as he understood that no smell, not even that of a close dog, achieves this effect. To them, we are their family. We are different from a pack of wolves. Dogs keep a special place in their brain just for us, according to the expert, something that confirms what many claim. That dogs see us as their parents, leading many to interpret that they are like our children. Number 2. The importance of oxytocin, the bond that unites us. A study from Asabu University in Japan determined that when a dog and its owner look into each other's eyes, both experience a release of oxytocin that strengthens the emotional bond between them. The authors of the study concluded that dogs have adapted to the human neuronal circle that evolved to reinforce the bond between mothers and children. In simple terms, this has allowed us to care for and protect dogs as if they were babies. A dog's brain releases oxytocin when it sees its owner, creating a sense of well-being, increasing loving and trusting behavior, and reducing stress levels. This hormone is key to reinforcing the emotional bond between mothers and children when they look into each other's eyes during breastfeeding, and the same thing happens when a dog and its owner look into each other's eyes. Both enjoy a release of oxytocin that strengthens the emotional bond between them. In fact, it is said that the feelings produced by oxytocin are addictive, which is why dogs can show genuine excitement and euphoria when they see their owners after being apart for a few hours. This love from our dogs is something their owners can observe in their daily behaviors. One unmistakable symbol of a dog's love is sleeping with its owner, a gesture that demonstrates total trust. Another loving gesture is following their owner through every room in the house, paying attention to every gesture and movement. You can also interpret it as a sign of love when your dog brings you toys or other objects as gifts and tokens of appreciation. The feelings triggered by oxytocin also occur, for example, between dogs and their puppies. The study also revealed that people who claim to love their dogs more are the ones who look into their eyes the most, suggesting that eye contact is important in the relationship between both species. Oxytocin analyses from urine samples before and after people and dogs interacted made it clear that the more a dog looks at its owner, the higher the oxytocin levels rise in both the person and the dog. The most surprising thing about this is that a similar experiment conducted with wolves raised from pups by a person did not detect any significant increase in oxytocin. Therefore, The oxytocin-based bond between dogs and humans must have evolved recently in the last few thousand years, after the lineage of dogs and wolves split. Number 3. Happiness is a feeling enjoyed by both. While we still don't fully understand most of what happens in the human brain, it's even harder to know what animals are thinking, as we can't put ourselves in their shoes. Despite this, most experts agree that dogs experience some emotions very similarly to us, including happiness. In all the exercises conducted with canine brain scans at Emory University, many similarities were found between the feeling a person has when seeing a friend or loved one and what dogs feel when they see their owners. This doesn't mean that dogs have the same communicative abilities as humans. They can't represent things in their memory the way we do, and they don't have labels and names to give to what they know. Their response is purely emotional. But that doesn't mean they don't have a bond with their family, a bond as strong as that between parents and children. Number 4. A dog's happiness when seeing its owner. A study from the University of Trento in Italy determined that a dog feels affection for its owners and is happy to see them in the same way a child rejoices at seeing their parents. But their reaction to the reunion is much more intense. Unlike with children, we can't explain to a dog that we're coming back, and for the dog, separation from its owner is not voluntary. It's always unnatural for someone to leave the pack. Wild dogs, like wolves, may separate from the pack for a while if sufficiently motivated, but they do so knowing that social contact can be resumed. This isn't the case when we leave our dog alone for 8 hours until we return from work. The exaggerated greetings seen in many dogs are related to the fact that they haven't yet learned to accept the possibility of an involuntary separation. If your dog understood that you need to go to work to feed them, they would accept it without any problems. Number 5. The importance of greeting in dogs. The greeting ritual is essential for dogs, as it's part of how they gather information. When your dog jumps towards you, they are trying to lick your face. Part of this is a form of greeting, but they also want to lick and sniff you to know where you've been and what you've been doing. They are curious if you've been with other dogs. They will know and will start sniffing you more intensely. To alleviate this stress for your dog, you should respond to their greeting with training. You can teach your pet to greet you differently. The important thing is to understand that for dogs, the greeting ritual is important and cannot be overlooked. Number 6. Do dogs love? According to Stanley Coren, Professor Emeritus in the Department of Psychology at the University of British Columbia and author of several books on dog behavior, dogs have a mind equivalent to that of a 2-year-old child. Therefore, they can express basic emotions such as fear, anger, joy, and surprise. However, they do not have the capacity to understand complex emotions such as shame, guilt, or pride, which usually develop in humans by the age of 5. Regarding whether they feel love or not, the specialist points out that it's difficult to say because there isn't just one type of love. Being a complex emotion, experts talk about affection, meaning your dog has a great affection for you. And what do you think? Here is a video that, according to YouTube, is perfect for you. Well, that's all for now. See you next time.